Brother, what I'm about to reveal is going to completely shift the way you understand women. And 97% of men never figure this out because they're too focused on chasing the wrong things. Right now, there are men who attract women almost effortlessly. Not because they look better, not because they're wealthier, but because they grasp 5 psychological principles most men are totally blind to. Here's the wild part. Women are aware of these tendencies within themselves, but they will never openly tell you. Not because they're lying, these patterns run beneath conscious awareness. They shape attraction without most women even understanding why certain men pull them in and others repel them. I've watched guys who seemingly had everything, looks, money, status, completely fail with women because they violated these psychological rules. And I've seen average men, with nothing particularly special on the surface, generate intense attraction because they naturally aligned with these patterns. The separation between men who struggle and men who get chased comes down to one thing: understanding these 5 secrets. That's it. Not your money, not your face, not your status, just knowing how female psychology actually functions instead of how you imagine it works. Today, I'm breaking down all 5. Pay attention, because this is more valuable than any dating program or pickup course. This is the core of everything. Let's get into it. Secret 1. Women are drawn to your trajectory, not your current position. Here's the first truth most men completely overlook. Women aren't fixated on where you are right now. They're locked onto where you're headed. Your direction matters far more than your present circumstances. This is why you see women with men who are broke but aggressively building something, or broke. And it's why you'll see successful men lose women when they stop growing. Attraction is tied to who you're becoming, not what you currently possess. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense. For thousands of years, women needed men who could protect and provide, not just in the moment, but in the future. A man with resources but no ambition would eventually lose them. A man with few resources but a powerful drive would likely gain more. Women evolved to assess future potential, not just present status. This shows up in real life all the time. A man grinding on a business, even if he's broke, can outshine a man with a stable job who has no hunger left. One has upward momentum, the other is flat. Women respond to momentum, not your current bank account. A man who's improving himself, training, learning, evolving, radiates upward trajectory. A man who peaked years ago and hasn't grown since radiates decline. Women sense this instantly. So what does this mean for you? Stop thinking attraction comes from your income or job title. It comes from the story your life is telling. Are you heading somewhere? Are you carrying a mission? Are you becoming a more capable man month by month? When women ask things like, what are you working on? Or what are your goals? What gets you excited? They're not making casual conversation. They're reading your trajectory. The man with strong trajectory talks about what he's building with genuine excitement, not bragging about what he already has. That forward momentum is magnetic because it signals rising value. But the man who only talks about past accomplishments signals stagnation. Even impressive achievements lose power when framed as something behind you rather than something you're building on. Here's the harsh truth. A 25-year-old grinding with fire in his eyes can be more attractive than a 35-year-old with a great salary but no drive. Trajectory status. And this is liberating. You don't need to arrive before attracting good women. You just need to be moving. Have a mission. Build something, grow consistently. Your circumstances matter far less than the force and direction of your momentum. Secret 2. Women crave emotional variation, not flat stability. Here's the second secret that ruins attraction for most men. Women say they want stability, security, consistency, but what actually activates their attraction is emotional variation. The highs and lows, the playful moments and the deep ones, the excitement mixed with calm. Most men hear a 2, stability, and interpret that as a be predictable and always available. They become one note, emotionally flat, and boring. Then they're confused when she drifts away. Women need emotional stimulation. Human brains respond to variation, not sameness. Predictability fades into the background. Emotional variation keeps her engaged. This does not mean being chaotic or dramatic. It means having range. Sometimes you're locked into your mission and unavailable. Sometimes you're fully present with her. Sometimes you're playful. Sometimes you're serious, but sometimes you push her limits. Sometimes you comfort her. Predictable patterns create boredom. Variable emotional experiences create emotional pull. This is how it appears in everyday life. The guy who texts a good morning at the exact same time daily becomes scenery. The guy who disappears into his work for a bit, then returns with powerful presence creates emotional contrast. The guy who always agrees becomes dull. The guy who sometimes challenges her, sometimes validates her, sometimes teases her, keeps her mentally alive. So the man who's always in the same state, always calm, always flat, becomes predictable. The man who shows different modes, focused, playful, deep, passionate, creates emotional energy. This is why women often describe a man they were drawn to by saying, "He kept me on my toes." That's not manipulation. It's range, and it must be authentic. You can't fake this. You need real dimensions: work mode, play mode, deep mode, challenge mode. A one-dimensional man loses women by default. Application? Stop trying to be the same all the time. Show the full spectrum of who you are. Attraction lives in variation, not monotony. Secret 3. Women will test your frame constantly, and it's not personal. Here's the third secret that baffles men. Women will continuously test whether your confidence is genuine or just performance. Hoot. These tests aren't intentional or malicious. They're subconscious mechanisms. Men misinterpret these tests as disrespect or hostility. They get defensive, they get angry, or they fold to avoid conflict. Both reactions scream fragility, not strength. Here's the real reason behind these tests. A woman's subconscious needs to know if your confidence holds under pressure, because fake confidence collapses. Real confidence doesn't. So she applies emotional pressure, slight criticism, pulling back, disagreeing, minor conflict. Not as strategy, this is instinct. And here's how these tests look. She makes a small jab right arrow to see if you'll get insecure. She goes cold right arrow to see if you'll chase. She disagrees right arrow to see if you drop your viewpoint. She stirs minor tension right arrow to see if you stay calm. If you stay centered, you pass. If you stay centered, you pass. If you become reactive or needy, you fail. These tests never fully stop, even in long-term relationships, because they're evolutionary filters. And the man who understands this doesn't take them personally. He remains calm, unfazed, grounded. He's not performing confidence. He is confident. But the man who sees these tests as attacks shows he's unstable. He reacts emotionally. He becomes defensive. He gets needy. All of which tell her that his strength is a facade. A strong frame says, "I'm whole, with or without you. Your mood doesn't shake me. I handle turbulence without becoming turbulent." Pass the tests and she relaxes into you. Fail them and she slowly detaches. Secret 4. Women bond through shared emotions, not shared activities. Here's the fourth secret most men overlook. Women don't bond through doing things together. They bond through feeling things together. Shared emotional experiences create connection, not the activity itself. Men bond through activities, sports, projects, working together. So men assume women connect the same way. They don't. The activity is just the environment. The emotional exchange during it is what creates closeness. You can take her to a fancy restaurant, but if the conversation stays shallow, nothing connects. You can sit with her on a park bench with deep conversation, and she feels bonded. Oh, women say things like, "I want someone I can talk to," because emotional resonance matters more than anything else. So stop trying to impress with expensive activities. Focus on the emotional quality of your presence. Make her laugh. Create depth, share vulnerability, spark curiosity. Talk about real experiences, listen with presence. A man who understands this can create powerful connection anywhere. Meanwhile, the guy who relies solely on expensive dates creates memories without emotions. Empty bonding. Shared activities equals shared moments. Shared emotions equals real connection. Secret 5. Women are more attracted to men other women desire. The final secret, female attraction is heavily socially influenced. Women are more drawn to men who other women already want. This is called pre-selection, and it's incredibly powerful. This isn't manipulation, it's evolutionary logic. If other women desire a man, it signals he has desirable traits worth noticing. Women use other women's interest as data. This is why a man gets more interest once he's taken. Men who have female friends get more attention. Men who are comfortable around women attract women easily. Female validation creates more female validation. It becomes a loop. Women notice men other women have chosen. And men who get little female attention seem lower value by default. So when you build yourself, develop social ease, have women around you naturally, you trigger instinctive attraction.